Good morning. Let's continue with the topic that we have stopped last time. We have seen the classic design of the machine learning algorithms, how to do this one with different steps which are undertaken to create a machine learning algorithms. Yes, so let's continue. Final design also you have seen. Now let's talk about the issues and perspectives in machine learning. What exactly issues may be present and what point we need to consider while designing or using the machine learning algorithms here. See, five different issues are there that we'll be discussing today. What are the algorithms exist for learning general target function from specific training examples? Now remember, machine learning is a technology and we are having a set of algorithms in it, different set of algorithms. As we have seen, there are many different types of machine learning are present. Under that types again, many algorithms are present. Our common categorization tells us supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and the reinforcement learning. And in that again, supervised is very commonly used kind of machine learning algorithms. Now under machine learning, under the supervised learning, we have classification regressions, and under that also again lot many different type of algorithms are present. Let's say decision tree is there, new best classifier is there, or random forest algorithms, different kind of more ensemble learning are there, k nearest neighbor, or many more different kind of algorithms, neural networks are also there. So which one to choose, or which algorithm is used for that kind of task? Okay, it's a part of practice again, and it's a part of our observation that which kind of algorithm can be applicable to it. Most of the time when your problem is of classification, so all kind of classification algorithm can be applied. If it is of regression, then all kind of regression algorithms can be applied. Okay, but their accuracy can be different, even their speed, the time that they use to train the algorithm and create the model is also different. That you have to make use of it, and you have to do the practice, and you have to identify which algorithm is having high accuracy on this kind of data, or which algorithm requires less amount of time to perform operations on the same, like that. Okay, so these main two criteria are how much accuracy that we have, and second one, that how much time is required to train and do the predictions on the given set of data. Okay, so whichever is optimized, so that algorithm will be chosen for performing the operation, because choosing an algorithm is always an issue. On IEEE Explore also you can see different kind of research papers are there in the machine learning area. They have used different sort of algorithm on different set of data, different type of the data there. So different type of data, different sort of algorithm will show different kind of performance on it. So based on your need, necessity, requirements, we just can choose a specific algorithm for that set of data here. Second, how does the number of training example influence the accuracy? Yes, it is there. Accuracy, we have seen the practical machine learning. I have shown one application also, one example also. From the given set of data, machine learning learns, it creates the model of it, and once the model is created, after that only we are going to build the model and then do the predictions and then we deploy it. Fine. Okay, but the number of trainings examples influence the accuracy. So in general, what say, accuracy is depends upon the number of samples, the number of element, number of observation that we have. Remember, those who are having high experience, they will be having more accurate prediction power. Fine, exactly. So if you increase the experience, if you increase the number of rows, if you increase the number of entries for building a machine learning model, obviously you will get more improved classifier. Remember, but in some cases also there is it's not possible to go above certain level of accuracy, because if you, there are some constraint that every algorithm is having, there are some constraint or novelness which is read already. It's not possible to go ahead with that novelness which is read by algorithm. So that case accuracy may be hampered. Fine. So accuracy depends on the number of training examples also, and depends upon the type of algorithm that you apply on this respective data. And to measure the of the algorithms, like we have seen that we have talked about classification algorithms, we have talked about the regression analysis also, how to do the analysis of that algorithm. Okay, that also we'll see practically in upcoming sessions, how this algorithm actually performs and how to find the accuracy, how accurate these algorithms are, and what factor it is determined. Next one, when and how can prior knowledge held by learner guide the process of generalizing from examples? Prior knowledge, previous example, generalization, like maybe I'm defining algorithm and that algorithm is possible to apply on all. Remember, these are the heuristic approaches which are followed in machine learning. Maybe previously we have seen a set of algorithm where static, they are not learning by themselves, but the machine learning algorithms are having ability to learn by themselves. They create the model by themselves, and that model is dynamic, it's different for different set of data. Remember, so whatever knowledge we have, in that knowledge, what exactly the algorithm is present, that will be devised with the help of machine learning algorithm. Now, next, what is the best strategy for choosing useful next training experience, and how does the choice of strategy after the complexity of learning algorithm problem? See, there are many techniques are there. Like for example, we have seen the correlation methods. With the help of correlation, that is Pearson correlation, we can identify whether the data is linearly connected or not. Fine. Or there are many methods which are called as feature extraction. With the help of feature extraction method also, we can identify which kind of features or which kind of inputs are beneficial for us to create the machine learning model. Okay, so feature extraction, feature reduction, feature selection methods are there, and along with that, we are having dimensionality reduction technique also. With the help of it, it's possible to identify which particular features are important, which are correlated, which are unrelated, or which are redundant. Like all these attributes, all these properties, we can identify with the help of specific pre-processing, data pre-processing techniques in machine learning, and many more are there. Basically, some algorithm requires some special pre-processing techniques. Okay, so that special pre-processing we need to apply, and accordingly we need to generate or build your algorithm as per from the point of view of if of that particular algorithm. This you have to create a data set basically. What is the best way to reduce the learning task to more or more function approximation problem? Reduce the learning task. Remember, the problem, this is connected with the previous topic also. Complexity of learning tasks by the algorithm increases when the number of features are more. The data set is very high, number of features are very high. That case, so if you reduce that, if you normalize the data, if you reduce the features, we'll talk about the normalization also. Okay, how exactly normalization done, why to do this one. This is a pre-processing technique. So machine learning is not whole and sole algorithm in data science. Machine learning comprises of 20% part of data science projects. Okay, remaining 80% are the supplementary processes. Maybe pre-processing techniques are there. If you want to create an algorithm, so we need to reframe your data in a specific format. So to reframe that data in specific format, we require to have many different kind of algorithms. Maybe outlier detection algorithms are also there. Resampling are there. With the help of it, you create data perfectly for the algorithms, and then only algorithm will generate more specific perfect result out of it. Remember, and the last one, how can the learner automatically alter its representation to improve the ability to represent and learn the target function? Automatically alter. We have seen the diagram of the machine learning. So data science project basically, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. We'll start from business understanding towards the final predictive modeling and data visualization. So after that is done, we're going to get the data again. We can retrain the algorithm, rebuild it, find more optimal solution, and go ahead. This is a cycle basically. How do we identify it? The model is perfectly working. Yes, model is perfectly working is identified with the help of retraining and using the previous experience, previous perfectly built model to build another model of retrained model of the machine learning over there. So this is it's a revolutionary process that we have to undertake here in the machine learning, and based on that, a perfect learner algorithm can be created. Fine. So the strategies are there. It's a part of practice again, as in the last 2 units also. Only theory sessions are there, but I'll show everything practically, how exactly it is working, and how to determine the algorithms, how to use the algorithm, how to do the predictions, how to find accuracy of it. So it will be easy for us to understand the concepts of machine learning techniques. So these are the common issues which are present in machine learning. They are solved with the help of statistical methods and many technical mathematical methods also. With the help of it, we can just identify the perfect performance of the machine learning algorithms ahead. Okay, so let's come with the last topic of this unit, the machine learning applications. I'll show one video on this also, real life application. So there is no any single area present where machine learning is not possible. Machine learning is possible in all the areas where the data is collected, previous data is present, and with the help of that previous data, we can build a machine learning model, and we can use it for either predictive analytics or descriptive analytics, or just finding the pattern like unsupervised learning, or just finding creating algorithm by training it multiple number of times. Okay, so common 6 areas I mentioned. Along with that, I will show some practically deployed applications also, which we use in day-to-day life. Now see, healthcare. In healthcare, again, one of the most promising field today, also from last 1.5 year, we have seen healthcare is most important. So the data is collected there. In that data also, we can analyze this data, or we can use this data with the help of machine learning models, and it will be used for, again, any kind of analytics in data science. Like we have medical image analysis. We can do medical image analysis. We can perform drug discovery of new drugs, or bioinformatics, visual assistance. There machine learning can be applied. Or if you go to the transport, yes, self-driving cars, enhanced driving experience. Okay, they will train us. Machine will train you how to drive. Maybe car monitoring system, detailed complete car information, car health, car monitoring system can be created by machine learning systems. Enhancing the safety of passengers. Okay, so with the help of different sensors and by using smart IoT enhanced by the machine learning concepts, we can make such a product, and they are already available. This kind of products are there. Finance, customer segmentation, creating these segments in customers. So as per a requirement, any clustering algorithms are used over there. Strategical decision making. Yes, what was happened in the past and what loss we incurred because of that, and how we can gain the profit. Okay, answers to this kind of problems can be solved with the help of the machine learning. Then algorithmic trading, then risk analytics, common areas where the machine learning apply. Let us go to the banking, fraud detection. Yes, this is very common application of it. Even credit risk modeling, whether you have to provide the credit card to the customer or not, what his history is there, what others histories are, and can you provide the machine learning, can you use this machine learning algorithm to provide the debit or credit card to this particular person. Okay, or customer lifetime value prediction, that is can be done with the help of the machine learning. Then manufacturing, we can predict the potential problems in manufacturing. We can create a monitoring system where they will identify the health of a respective machine in the manufacturing systems and do the predictive maintenance with that. Our automated manufacturing units, maintenance scheduling, anomaly detection. Yes, with the unsupervised learning algorithm, which something weird happens, then we can identify with the help of the machine learning algorithms. Then e-commerce, we can identify the consumers, customer churn can be found. Recommendation systems, we'll talk about that also. And analyzing the reviews which are posted by the customers on different kind of products online, like sentiment analysis we call. So they are the common applications of machine learning here. In almost every area we can make use of machine learning. So every kind of, it's not talking only about the supervised or unsupervised. All kind of machine learning algorithms can be used in different diverse area of our day-to-day life. Let's see a few more 10 applications where machine learning can be applied easily. You can see I just enlisted few of the real life examples of machine learning here, which we are actually in touch in our day-to-day life. Please, traffic predictions. Okay, so we can predict regularly the traffic flow on the roads in this particular area is common. Fine. So this algorithm is used by Google Maps, and with the help of it, it identifies that which can be the best route, to travel from destination A to destination B at 6 p.m. Okay, so you can previously prepare for the same. You will be driving through this route because the traffic flow is very high, very low, or moderate. So it will be taking that amount of time. Though the distance is 10 kilometers, it is taking 1 hour, and here distance 20 kilometers is taking half hour. Okay, like that. So which one to prefer, time or fuel? So that we can identify with the help of traffic prediction systems. Here also the data of traffic is recorded, and with the help of it, the pattern is analyzed, or time series analytics will be applied here, and with the help of it, the traffic prediction is possible. So based on the traffic prediction, you will decide what to do in future. Fine. Next, targeting advertisements. You might have seen these advertisements at various locations in the website. This is done with the help of Google AdSense, actually. Google AdSense. So with the help of Google AdSense, they identifies the customers' requirements, customer views. Okay, they may have searched something on the Google's website. they may have searched on some others website. So based on that, they know the interest of the particular customer. Maybe they are receiving specific kind of mails in the Gmail, so they will identify what kind of people are this, what kind of customer is that, and based on that, the advertisement will be shown to you on different kind of websites. On YouTube also, same concept of Google AdSense is used, and with the help of Google AdSense, they will be showing you the advertisements. Okay, advertisement will be shown to you, and from that the okay, we'll be getting more and more customers. So it will be having high chances to that the customer will click on this website or that click on that advertisement, and they will purchase the respective product. Targeting advertisements. Recommendation systems. Now almost all the social media or all the websites which are public websites, okay, anyone can create account there, so they are containing these kind of recommendation systems there. You can see on Netflix also, if you have watched a movie, if you are watching a specific kind of movie, so depending upon the genre, depending upon the language, depending upon the actor, actress, or director of the movie, a recommendation will be given to you that if you watch this, we can watch that also, like this. So that is what the Netflix has provided, or Amazon Prime, or Hotstar. So they are also using the similar kind of algorithms with the help of it. The recommendation are provided, so you will spend maximum time on their platform, so their revenue will grow, like that. These are recommendation systems. Or on YouTube also, whatever video you are watching, so on the right hand side of that video, you can see up next. So when you have finished watching this video, you will go to the next video after that. On Twitter also, whom to follow, okay, the people that you used to follow regularly, so based on that, the suggestions will be given to you. Okay, then on Facebook, people you may know, okay, the people that you may know based on your preferences, based, or even pages also suggested to you, what pages you have liked or what kind of posts you usually like. So based on that, the suggestions will be given to you. You check it. Fine. So this is one example where recommendation system. There are two techniques are there in machine learning. We are not having that in syllabus. Collaborative filtering and the content based filtering. With the help of this filtering technique, the recommendations can be provided. Even you might have heard about a concept called association rules. I think in last semester we have seen that one. Association rule is also one of the kind of recommendation system. If you purchase this, then you can purchase that also. Like, so that's also one of the recommendation system which can be used here to recommend something to the customers. Now see, image recognition systems. Here, if something, okay, what kind of object is present in that image, very effective field nowadays which is used in image, means in any image what exactly object is present, okay, or which person is present, that can also be identified. See, if you upload a photo on Facebook for first time, okay, if a group photo is there, in that it identified that this person is present, this person is present, this person is present. Do you want to tag them? You'll be asking for the same, so you can tag it. But though you uploaded this photo for the first time, then also Facebook recognizes that the person is present in this. Okay, the person is present. Okay, so this is a machine learning algorithm which is we can also create with the help of convolutional neural network, and with this image recognition is possible. Even on Google Photos also, if you are linked your camera's account or camera's photos to the Google Photos, you might have seen that Google Photo is more practically implementing the image recognition there. By the faces, we can separate the images by appearances, by colors, by places, by locations. Okay, different sort of images can be separated there. That's we can combine. Then we can combine two kind of images also. Like many things are there which is possible with the help of the machine learning system in the part of image recognitions. And even video also, in the live video also, we can track the audio and you can see the captions. So you can see in Google Meet also, there's a concept called as captions. This is part of speech recognition actually, not image. So speech and image recognition both can also be combined in video. Fine. See, speech recognition, whatever you are talking in, so whatever language you're talking in, that will be converted into the textual format. Like, so the person is talking here will be listened and accordingly will be converted into text format, textual format. Fine. Okay, not only English but any other languages nowadays. This is part of natural language processing. So whatever language you speak naturally, that we speak natural language, that's why it's called as human spoken languages. So you can read that accordingly, that will be represented in the form of the text like this. That's called as speech recognition systems. So the speech recognition systems are also making use of the machine learning, and that can be so. Even when you're typing a mail in Gmail, you can see there are suggestions will automatically come. If you write please find an, so it'll automatically attachment will come. How Google Mail knows that there's an attachment is present? Okay, that's part of machine learning technique. RNN is used for that. Even if you know the Google Voice input, there also, this is what the Google Voice input does. Speech recognition, whatever you're talking, that will be converted into the specific language. Okay, that's present inside the Android phones also. With the help of it, any language that you talk, that will be converted into textual format. So it's a revolutionary algorithm. It has got the experience from last several years, and based on that, the word identification is done by automatic language translation. Yes, translation. This is automatic speech recognition first, and then machine translation. Three concepts are mentioned over here. It's again a part of natural language processing here in data science. So whatever you're talking, that will be converted to text format, and from text will be converted to another language, directly from one language to another language also. It's very interesting tool. Google Translate contains this particular algorithm present in it, where very small, simple steps are present. With the help of it, it's possible to convert one language to another language. Even it's possible to identify the grammatically correct sentence also. So whether whatever you are speaking is grammatically correct or not, spelling is correct or not. Okay, and then even transforming one language to another language is also one of the great tasks which we have shown over here. Google Translate contains this one. From any language in the world can be converted into any other language in the world by automatic language translation. One of the most novel technologies of the world today is self-driving cars. Many companies are now working on that. Even the Tesla is one of the king in this particular area of self-driving cars that they have created. They have already deployed, or they have already tested these particular cars. They have already purchased, or they already sold these particular cars to Amazon. Even they have sold these cars to Uber or many other companies also. So they are using this car for, okay, for renting also. Fine. This is what self-driving cars are. Many companies are there, they are working on that. I'll show one video after that. In that, they have shown how exactly these cars are created and these cars are built, and what's functionality that they internally having there. Self-driving cars and self-driving planes also. Plane is actually old application where no much complications involved, but in self-driving cars, complications are more. That's why machine learning, a robust and perfect machine learning algorithm is expected in this case. Stock market trading. See, it's very one of the area where the real-time analytics is required. What will happen in future? Like what was the price of the stock for a specific company yesterday? What can be tomorrow? What can be today? Okay, on how it will rise or not, on which particular decision will affect the rise or fall of the uh, stock price of a specific company, like that we can find with the machine learning. Many softwares are also available there, because it's one of the crucial area in the financial marketing, finance basically. That's why great robust machine learning algorithms are created here. With the help of it, it will be decided that which particular company's price will grow or which will fall. Stock market trading. Fraud detection, yes, one of the again great application of it. Okay, I just shown that in the banking sectors also, whether the fraud is present or not. Okay, to detect that fraud, someone has transferred illegal money, okay, from one account to another account, okay, by some illegal methods basically, that fraud we can detect. Or second case, like whether you are having a balance sheet, your input output are matching, but whatever you are done in between, lakhs of entries are there, so it will not be possible to check each and every entry. So we can have a machine learning algorithm by which we can detect whether the fraud is present in that data or not. Okay, this is one of the great application of machine learning here, fraud detection. Fine. Next, delivery logistics. Okay, so remember whatever you purchase on Amazon or any other website, so that get travel through courier and will reach your home after 2 3 days, whatever. So multiple steps are there here. Five steps are mentioned. See, at five different steps are there. When you ordered it, then it's shipped it, then checked, then traveling through, okay, from actual warehouse towards your home. So in that stage is taken. Now it will be monitored by the online methods, and with the help of it will be identified that at what particular date and time the product will arrive at your home. Okay, this particular product that you ordered from Amazon or from Flipkart or from any other website, when that will be present, that will be in your hand, like that prediction is possible with the help of machine learning algorithm. It will increase the reliability of the company from the customer's point of view. That's why these algorithms are beneficial, remember. So this is what prime many applications are there where we can make use of the machine learning systems, where predictive analytics is most focused, which is used to automate the processes. See, the first thing is that we are automating the particular systems, we are reducing the human effort, we are reducing the human intervention, we are deleting that. So wherever we need to apply that, there we are going to make use of the machine learning technique. Okay, one small video is there, just go through that. These are deployed application of machine learning, are the deployed applications of machine learning. Just a minute, I'll show you. Check this.
This is Cosmo.
Cosmo is a rambunctious little kid.
A little bit mischievous.
He's did about 40, 50 studies on just little nuances, looking at the interface with the monitor where the eyes are going to look at you. Cosmo moves the head and follows you. Every little detail has its special attention paid to it.
We literally have a rigged up version of Cosmo in Maya, where our animators can animate him using the exact same techniques that they would use for digital characters, except the output isn't rendered. The output is actually Cosmo behaving in the real world.
We've been looking for ways to make it either feel more organic, more imperfect, so that it feels more animated.
Rethink Robotics' family of robots operate on the Intera software platform. This revolutionary software does not require the use of a teach pendant or keyboard to program the robot. In fact, you don't program the robot at all. With our smart, collaborative robots, all you need to do is move the arms through the motions to train it how to do a task. You train by demonstration. There are a few simple buttons on the arm and on the robot's wrist. We call it the cuff, which allows you to train a task. On the robot's cuff, there is a sensor which lets the robot know you are ready to work with it. When you grab it, the arm goes into a zero-gravity mode, which allows you to effortlessly move the arm through the workspace, show it what you want it to do, and then it's as easy as hitting run and the robot will go to work. This simple train by demonstration means you don't need to hire employees with special programming skills. Your existing staff can train and deploy our robots. Isn't it time to rethink robot programming?
Logic, mate. No, it's the crap exercise.
And then features of that 100 number is the
Okay, so these are deployed applications where actually machine learning is used. Fine. So let's continue. The unit number 4 is completed. It's basics of machine learning, as we have seen. They are done over here. We'll start with unit number 5 now.